Today's technique video is on faux silk, and these are the inks that I'll be using: Blushing Bride, Soft Suede, and Crumb Cake. I'm also going to be using the Elements of Syle stamp set, and it's going to use the large flourish there. Also a 3x4 Whisper White cardstock. I'm going to be stamping up my image with the soft suede, and that's going to be the background. Now on the faux silk technique, you can either stamp directly onto the background cardstock, or you can stamp right onto the tissue for the technique. We're going to be doing both today, and it's going to create a nice effect. So there I've stamped my background, and I'm going to now add some sponging to it. I don't want my background just to be white. I'm going to start with Blushing Bride and just start sponging. And when I sponge, what I like to do is to sponge off my paper first and then onto the cardstock. This way I don't get hard ink right on the edges, and I can blend my colors better. If you start right on the edge, sometimes you get more ink than you would like, and this way you can, it's like brayering. You know, you brayer off the paper and then onto the paper, and you get a softer looking image. And then this way I can kind of model it. It looks softer. And then I'm going to go back over it again, and I'm going to sponge with soft suede. And I'm not going to do as much coverage as I did with the Blushing Bride, but I'm using the same technique, just starting off my paper and sponging into the middle sections of my cardstock. And it just, the crumb cake gives a nice vintage look. The two colors together blend nicely, and then with the soft suede it looks good. So there we have it. That's the first part of our technique. I'm using a tissue paper that's larger than my cardstock, and I'm inking it up with Blush Blossom. So it's gonna be a subtle image, and it's not gonna stand out against the background of the cardstock, and you can see it there. And I'm just gonna crumple it up. You just want to wad it up as tight as you can and get lots of crinkles in it. And this is just tissue paper that you would buy for wrapping presents. There's nothing special about it. Now here I'm going to be opening it up, and I'm going to turn it over to make sure that I've got the stamped image the right way, and just make sure that I know where I'm going to place it, because we're going to be covering it with glue stick. So this is just Stampin' Up's glue stick, and you're going to just cover it all up, cover it completely with the glue stick. It's good to have a piece of paper under it, because you do just want to work quickly and just get a nice coverage of that glue stick. And then you're going to place your tissue paper right over the cardstock, and you're going to make sure every little piece of it gets pressed into the glue, and then turn it over and make sure all the sides and the edges are creased and pressed on there good. You don't want any of it coming off later. And just really press down on the creases, because that's part of that silk look. And I'm going to go ahead and sponge a little bit more crumb cake onto this, just to bring out the color to the surface of the image. And I'm not doing a whole lot. I'm just kind of touching it up here and there, and just giving it a distressed look. And you're just going to do that. And just mainly I did the edges. I did a little bit in the center, but not much. I'm also going to go over it again with the Blushing Bride. And I'm not doing a whole lot of that either, just kind of bringing out that color a little bit. I will be going over the flowers though. You'll notice I'm not sponging off the paper. I'm going right directly onto there. So here you have it. It's all sponged and ready to be cut. We're going to trim away this extra tissue paper, and you're just going to, if you turn it over, you can just use your cardstock as a guide, and you're just going to trim it all away. And you can actually sand the edges if you want it just to be cleaner. And there you have it. And now it's ready for a card or a scrapbook. Thanks for joining us.